Welcome back to Once Upon a Fun Fact. Today, we're diving into the story behind Disney's first and most obsessive villain, the evil queen from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. She isn't just any fairy tale villain, she set the bar for every Disney antagonist that followed. Her vanity, envy, and relentless pursuit of perfection not only drove the story forward, but also defined what a Disney villain could truly be. From her origins in the Brothers Grimm tale to her lasting impact on animation, theme parks, and pop culture, we're uncovering everything you didn't know about the queen who couldn't stand to be second. Origins and inspiration. The evil queen began her life in the Brothers Grimm fairy tale, first published in 1812. She was a stepmother obsessed with being the fairest of them all, whose jealousy drove her to commit unspeakable acts against Snow White. Walt Disney saw the potential to adapt this archetype into animation, crafting a character that was both terrifying and elegant. Animator Art Babbitt, who worked on some of Disney's most iconic characters, was tasked with bringing her icy elegance to life. Babbitt's attention to subtle gestures, a flick of the hand, a glimmer in her eye, helped portray the queen's inner obsession without needing dialogue. Her voice, provided by Lucille La Verne, was equally critical. Her dual performance as both the regal queen and the twisted old hag gave the character a chilling, almost hypnotic presence. The queen's obsession isn't random, it's built into her design and performance. Every moment, from her regal walk to the sinister sharpening of the poisoned apple, communicates control and the need to be superior. The animated film. In Disney's 1937 Snow White, the queen's obsession drives the entire narrative. She commands the magic mirror daily, asking the same question: who is the fairest of them all? When the answer reveals Snow White's surpassing beauty, the queen's jealousy manifests as rage, fear, and ultimately violence. Her plan to eliminate Snow White shows her intelligence and meticulousness. She disguises herself as an old hag, deceiving Snow White with sweet words and gifts. The duplicity demonstrates her obsessive need for control. She will manipulate, lie, and even commit murder to maintain her position at the top. Compared to some other Disney villains, the queen's obsession is internal and psychological rather than chaotic. Unlike Ursula, who thrives on showmanship and flamboyance, the queen is calculated, methodical, and precise. Her danger comes from her relentless focus, making her one of Disney's most chilling villains even decades after her debut. Design, animation, and symbolism. The Queen's animation was groundbreaking for 1937. Art Babbitt's work on subtle facial expressions allowed audiences to feel her envy and fear simultaneously. The transformation into the Old Hag is one of animation's earliest examples of smooth morphing, blending elegance with horror. Symbolically, the queen represents vanity, obsession, and the fear of aging, universal human anxieties that Disney clever visualized. The poisoned apple itself is iconic, representing not just the queen's intent to kill, but her obsessive need to eliminate anyone who could challenge her superiority. Even today, this symbolism resonates. Her obsession is timeless because the fear of being surpassed or losing control is something almost everyone can understand, which is why the Queen remains a template for many Disney villains to follow. Parks, merchandise, and legacy. While the evil queen isn't as present in parks as villains like Maleficent, her influence is significant. She does, however, appear in the Phantasmic Nighttime Spectacular. Her towering presence as the classic animated villain leaves a lasting impression. She has also been a staple in character meet and greets, especially during special events like the Halloween parties, where her regal demeanor and intimidating presence makes her interactions unforgettable. Merchandise featuring the Evil Queen remains strong even decades later as well. Items like collective dolls, pins, and figures highlight her duality: the elegant queen versus the sinister hag. Even limited edition releases tied to anniversaries or the live action adaptations see high collector demand. Comparisons and cultural impact. The Evil Queen established the blueprint for obsessive villains. Her focus on vanity and perfection contrasts with villains like Lady Tremaine, who use manipulation for personal gain, or Frollo, whose fanaticism is rooted in ideology. Unlike Ursula or even Maleficent, the Queen's obsession is intimate and psychological. Her legacy is also very cultural. She is often referenced in media, parodies, and Halloween events. From subtle nods in Disney TV shows to the live action adaptation in Snow White and the Huntsman, her character continues to inspire portrayals of calculated and obsessive evil. And if you've made it this far, that means you're enjoying this deep dive into Disney's darkest and most fascinating stories. Consider liking this video and subscribing so you never miss out on another deep dive into our Disney villains, hidden stories, and untold histories behind the characters that you thought you knew. Why she's obsessive, not just evil. Her obsession is what makes her truly dangerous, in a different way than most villains. It's not just that she wants Snow White dead, it's that she cannot tolerate the thought of someone being more beautiful or admired more than herself. That relentless focus defines her actions and sets her apart. Even the small moments, like her morning interrogations with the magic mirror or her meticulous preparation of the poisoned apple, these show how her life revolves entirely around control and perfection. This is why she's more terrifyingly psychologically than villains who rely on brute force or intimidation. Voice, animation, and legacy. Lucille La Verne's performance was crucial. She performed the Queen and the Hag separately, creating a seamless duality that still stands as a landmark in animation voice acting. And animator Art Babbitt's attention to detail gave the Queen a presence that transcended the screen. Every movement, tilt of the head, and narrowed eyes add layers to her obsessive personality. And her legacy continues to influence how Disney animates villains. Many subsequent characters take cues from her visual style, obsessive-driven motives, and psychological depth. The Evil Queen remains Disney's most obsessive villain because of her single-minded focus on vanity, perfection, and control. She set the standard for every Disney villain that followed. Calculated, intelligent, and chillingly personal in her pursuit of supremacy. So, what do you think? Does her obsession make her the most fascinating villain in Disney history? Or do you think someone else takes that crown? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear which Disney villain you think is the most obsessive of all time. And of course, consider giving the video a thumbs up, subscribing, and turning on those post notifications so you never miss out on a future upload. Thank you all so much for watching, and you all have a great rest of your day.